I feel like it's only Tampa Bay and maybe up here is you can do the ours and really not shallow water. You guys got the shallow water gags. We got gags at.
Are we live?
I don't know. Are we live yet?
I don't know. I'm getting the thumbs up. I'm getting the Billy thumbs up over here. So I guess this is the pregame show.
Yeah, pregame for Fish Talk Live here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the thumbs up. I see it again.
It is officially about time to start. All right, we're here to pregame. We're just saying hi, hello, see if anybody's out there, who's logging on, who isn't.
Yeah. Comment and let us know you're out there.
Yeah.
Listening. All 3 of our viewers. Maybe 4 this week.
Keep y'all happy. Got a good evening coming up here.
Yep.
Special guest in the house tonight, so pretty excited to get in on that.
I think we're going to be discussing some grouper fishing, I believe it is.
That time of the year is coming and coming quickly.
Yep. It'll be here very shortly. They don't let us know what we're talking about until we get here. So, I think that's what they said. We had about 10 different conversations going at one time, so it was kind of hard to pay attention. Yeah, it is. So,
let us know if you guys are out there. Give us a hi, hello.
Maybe a little thumbs up or a wave.
Now's a good time to do all your likes and shares if you guys plan on getting in on some giveaways tonight.
I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and chime in and welcome all these people that are saying hello. So we got
some folks.
Yeah.
We got Nick.
What's happening, Nick? Appreciate you tuning in tonight.
Yep, we got Joe Forthus. We got John Ball. Dale.
There's our 3. Oh, there's 4.
Dan Bridges, Scott Parrish, my man, Loretta, Denise, Greg Pryor. Greg only said hello to you, Billy, by the way.
Hi, Greg.
I got you. He's special.
Jessica says that she wasn't able to submit any photos this week because she has COVID. So, Jessica, we're hoping you have a speedy recovery.
You feel better. Yeah. I mean, the best place to be for that sickness, though, is fishing.
On the water, yeah. Get some of that sunshine.
That's it.
Chris Dunning.
Yep.
My man.
Welcome in.
Ed, William. Guys, if you are out there, go ahead and comment, say hi, and go ahead and just get it out of the way now. Do us a favor, share.
Get that part done. That way when the questions start rolling in, you're already ready to answer, and you're already logged in, ready to ride.
That's it.
I don't know what we're giving away tonight, but it should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Rumor is it's pretty awesome. Louie says, hello, Billy.
Louis.
Louis. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the intro. Guys, we'll be right back.
Beyond the woods, down the twists and the turns, through the marsh lies the knowledge needed to fish the nature coast.
This is Fish Talk Live.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Fish Talk Live, presented by the one and only Phillips Auto Group. Gotta love those people. Hardcore, man. Awesome folk. We'll take care of you for your new vehicles, used vehicles, service vehicles.
Anything you need.
Anything at all you need. So, guys, tonight, guys and ladies, tonight we are talking about the most fierce fish in the sea. Something that we all consider to be the saltwater species largemouth bass, and it's one of my all-time personal favorites to catch or to target, to hunt. It's going to be the gag grouper. It opens just here in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks?
About 2.5 weeks.
So if you've never gag grouper fished here out of Citrus County, you're missing out. I mean, we have the shallow water fish. You can catch in 2 feet of water. Billy and I have caught them off the airboat before where there was hardly any water.
Oh, yes.
And obviously you can go offshore and, go get everything you need out there. So that's what we're talking about tonight. We have our friend Justin Maddox from Maddox Tackle.
Maddox.
My all-time favorite soft plastic bait for grouper, but he's also going to be talking about what else they use these baits for in his neck of the woods down in Tampa. But the real fun part tonight is Billy is over there on Tackle Table Talk. He's managing the comments.
So type slow.
Type in all caps. So if you guys have a question, we want to know it, we want to answer it. That's pretty much what we have Mario here for, because he's got all the knowledge, as we all have witnessed here lately. And we're really excited about speaking about this tonight. But before we get into that, Billy, what have you been seeing on the airboat as far as the inshore species?
So as far as the inshore species, it has been actually a rather nice week to be out there on the airboat, playing at the lower of the tides when I have the best visibilities. I've been running over quite a few of our shallow water cracks and ledge systems that we have out there, which has been a lot of fun to play in. But as far as the grouper side of it, I'm not seeing a whole lot of them like I was 2 months ago. But there is quite a bit of mangrove snapper. A lot of the sheep's head are moving around in there. It's pretty cool to be able to see what all is living and playing inside those cracks and ledges. There's quite a few of them in our flats. I'm sure if you all play out there enough, you'll find them. It's pretty cool to be able to see. The amount of redfish I'm finding in the backcountry, playing into some of the dirtier waters, like I think it was 3 days ago, is one of the prettiest redfish I've ever seen. It was on the west side of Mud Creek as I was about to jump into the slide there.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Lit up, huh?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, if there was a tournament, I know where I'd be going to sit to catch that one fish. But gorgeous week to be able to be out there, go do some airboating and scouting on some fish. It's a lot of fun this week.
Good deal. And it looks like we've got some rain coming up
yes,
this week.
Much needed.
We absolutely need.
Yeah, much needed.
Yeah, so we're all waiting on that rain. Hopefully it's days of it, honestly, because we need it. The water temperatures are hot. It's getting kind of slimy out there a little bit, and we need some cooler water temps. And honestly, we need a break. We've been nonstop since July 1st. It has been the busiest scallop season for us, charter guides here at least, and
absolutely.
It's been awesome. So a break would be nice. But now Captain Mario is going to be going more in depth on the inshore fishing report here in a little bit on the casting couch. But before we do that, let's Mario, what do you think? You want to check out what other people have been catching on the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week?
Heck yeah.
Hopefully they're catching what we've been seeing.
Definitely. There we go. That looks like one of the Dunning boys. I'm guessing. It's a big redfish. Is that Chris? I can't tell.
Nice sheep's head.
Nice little sheep's
drum.
Head. Or is that a drum?
Yeah,
that's probably a black drum. I can't see the screen very well.
Oh, shoot,
here.
sorry.
That I know is a black drum.
That's Captain Jake up there.
Yeah. That's a very healthy black drum. It's a Darren with a very, very small redfish, what it looks like for me. I believe it is.
Very cute little red.
Oh, yeah. Little puppy. Puppy red. I'm going in and out of focus there. There's another nice redfish. Wow, a lot of redfish. Yeah, he keeps on popping up. Jake with a nice red. It's Mr. James. Redfish everywhere. Gosh, man. Is that Joe? That is Joe.
Beast of a red.
Yeah, a big thick one. Look at that. Look at the belly on that thing. We got John with a nice red. I mean, I'm telling you, the redfish bite's been pretty good. Been real good. That's another one of John. Lovely reds. I guess it's redfish week.
Always a good week
there's
for reds.
There's a nice snook from Joseph there. It's got a real nice snook. Oh, there's my clients there. The load of scallops. That was just from 2 days ago. Another one of mine with a big trout, top slaughter.
Beautiful trout.
Right up against the trees, too. And there's Matt Lanier. Nice red. We got Matt again. Wow, he's just killing it. Love to see him love to see those guys in the kayaks. Look at that multi-spotter. Look at that. Can you see the spots, or my head was in the way? It's Mick with a nice red.
They've been killing it on the kayaks.
I'm telling you, man, it's really good. Steve-O.
Very nice.
Nice red. Good deal. Cool deal. Those redfish have been all over the place, so I'm glad to see everybody getting them. We are about to go to a commercial, and we'll be right back.
Spot. 42, about 50 feet. Yeah, I got him. He's on it. Got him. Nice. That's a stud right there. Awesome cast, dude. That was so cool. What's the best reel for my price point?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch. I'm Captain Mario Castello, and we're going to talk some grouper tonight, I believe it is. I'm going to give you guys a quick report, but all of our red fishing, as you can see on our catch of the week, we've had some tremendous red fishing here lately. All the redfish that we've been seeing have been mostly at the mouth of the river and real close in. We're usually fishing a lot of those outside islands, but it's been really good right at the mouth of the rivers, the mouth of the Little Homosassa, the St. Martins, and also just outside of the Salt River. It's been really good. Been throwing a lot of live bait, a lot of shrimp. Been doing a little bit of pinfish. Cut pinfish has actually been working pretty well too here lately. But we'll go into a little bit of the grouper here pretty soon. Gary's going to sit down with me and we'll talk a little bit of grouper. How about you, Billy?
I'm ready for
yeah.
Billy, is there any questions?
Yeah, I do have one good question. Let me find it real quick. As I said, bear with me. And
That's okay. Billy's a little slow tonight. He's a little slow every night.
Whenever he's behind a computer, it's
Yeah,
I try.
he's on OnlyFans.
that's why I thought this would be the fun part.
Yeah, he's flipping through OnlyFans.
All
looking for
right,
feet.
I have from Mr. Darren here. He wants to know the best color combo on Rapalas or hard baits to troll for grouper in our waters.
This sounds like a question for both of us.
Yeah, I mean,
think.
the rule of thumb, dark water, dark bait. Mm-hmm. Light water, light bait. Mm-hmm. That's a rule of thumb.
Yeah, well, if it's specifically, is this a grouper question?
It was a grouper question.
Okay,
yep.
specifically for grouper, almost all of our water is going to be clean when we're grouper fishing. I have two favorite colors. Of course, they're like opposing colors. The first color I would go with is like a mackerel color. It's got a blue back with a white belly, black stripes, just like any of the mackerel patterns. Some of them have the green backs also. Either one, the blue or the green back works pretty good. But my go-to is going to be purple. It's a dark color. It seems to work really good in our clean water. It silhouettes is what it does. And it seems to be a really, really good color for me. That's my go-to is the purple.
You know, Billy and I actually did some testing on this one time.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of color combos.
You remember that? Now, the water was a little on the murky side that day, but it was like fall when the winds start picking up, and so the water did get a little bit on the murky side. But so when I'm throwing baits, you know, like you said, our water is typically clear here. Mm-hmm. So like a white bait, you know, you can't beat it.
Right.
With those X-Wraps, you know, one of our local or one of our storage customers who was known for taking his poling skiff out and just absolutely slaying the grouper. He lives off of the ghost color, which is just basically a white. It's got a little bit of a mirror to it too. And then he also likes that green back. Now, when we're talking with Justin from Maddox Tackle here in a little bit, we're going to go more in detail on these colors.
Right.
He covers all of that. But Billy and I, in the murkier water, we were playing around, and we were tying on that green back color, which typically is a go-to, like you said.
It's a natural color.
It's a natural. It is. Yeah. But then on the other pole, now we were trolling too. We were we're 10, 15 feet of water, and we were trolling around. And on the other one, we threw on an orange, the most obnoxious orange sun glow color you can find. Mario, I'm not joking you. It was 10-1 on that orange.
Oh yeah.
But
that would be my third go-to. Is I believe they call it Fire Tiger. It's orange and green.
Yeah.
I believe it. And there's a sunburst that's like orange and yellow.
But it's all how the group. That's why I love grouper fishing so much, because one day it can be like that, and where they're fired up and they're aggressive and they're protecting their structure. But then the next day where you actually have to trick them and be more subtle.
Right.
So, I'd say my personal favorites is that for the hard baits, and again, the soft baits, we're going to talk about colors here in a little bit, but for the hard baits is that dark greenback color, and then the macro color as well, and then the orange, the sun glow orange.
Yep. Yeah, you're with those bright colors, you're looking for a reaction strike anyways. It doesn't look natural at all.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing in the Gulf that mimics
it. Yeah, it stands out from anything else. So that's one of the other reasons they'll hit it. You'll get the aggressive fish to hit the brighter colors.
Actually, Billy, I don't know if you remember that, but that was when we had 5 women that booked it was like an afternoon grouper trip.
Yeah, Gary was like, "Hey man, you want to grow a group for fishing? I'm gonna need help with this."
Yeah, we had there were three younger little girls and then 2 grandmothers, and dude, that was such a fun day. We had a blast.
So I do have another question here from Mr. John Ball. What moon phase do y'all prefer for grouper fishing?
I like the old fashioned. And I've talked about this before. If the moon holds water, I don't know what phase it is, but if the moon holds water, it holds fish.
Okay, it's like when it looks like a cereal cup.
Exactly. Yes.
Like a bowl.
Yep. So would that be
that's a
quarter
first
moon
quarter.
Moon?
Yeah, first quarter moon. I believe it is. For me, it doesn't matter because I get paid to fish. so it doesn't matter what the moon phase is. We got to go out there and hammer them down. I don't really have a favorite.
Yeah.
But what you were saying when that moon looks like a bowl of cereal, that's actually a good time for our permit.
Really?
That's when we go permit fishing for some reason. Permit and pompano both, they hit really good on that first quarter moon.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, the old-fashioned 2 days after a full moon, but I've had days where I've had some of the best fishing that I can remember after a full moon.
Yeah.
The fish have their own thoughts.
I mean, they're going to eat when they're hungry.
Yeah.
And they're going to get aggressive whenever it does. Yeah, one day it's just like a dog. One day he's nice, calm, mild mannered, and the next day everything pisses him off.
Yep. Now, so Mario, tonight we're more mainly focusing on shallow water grouper. We've all run skiffs out of here. That's what we do. Every once in a while for fun, I like venturing out in deep water. Deep water to me is 20 feet. I like venturing out there, and it's just a whole new world. But the shallow water stuff is an absolute blast.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it between islands, within islands, in channels. So
it doesn't matter what kind of boat you have either.
Exactly.
When you're in shallow in 5 feet and less, you can go out there in a 15-foot mitzi and slay them.
But rigs are really important. Whenever you can get away with rigs and tackles, very important.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever you can get away with using the less and least and smallest stuff you can, that's the best. Except on the hooks, in my opinion. If you use a small hook when it comes to grouper, you are going to miss a lot of fish.
Right.
Now, we're bound by law to use circle hooks. You're going to miss more fish with circle hooks. It's just a known fact,
Right.
but it's safer for the fish, safer for the release.
I hate circle hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do.
I'm a hook setter.
Now, if you, one thing I've learned is those inline circles, I will never use another inline circle in my
Exactly.
life for grouper ever again. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, whatever the shape of their mouth is, it seems like you'll have them on just for a split second, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So a full octopus circle, something that's got a good arch back to the hook, super important for me.
Yep. It's offset slightly. So even with those folks that like to set the hook, you can actually set the hook with that offset circle hook and still catch them.
Oh, yeah.
With the inline circle hook, you have to wait for that fish to turn around. And if that fish turns around and he's headed back to his house, he's got the advantage.
Yep. So, and I always tell people too, with all the fishing I do, whenever I'm using any hook in saltwater, let the fish start the fight.
Yeah.
You can set the hook whenever, but that fish has to start the fight. You have to let him turn his head and go on with his own. So typically, anytime I get a chance, I never use weight. But if I have to, I've actually developed a knot that I really like.
I was staring at that earlier. That was pretty nifty.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like using the loop knot to add the weight in there just to bring that pinfish down a little more fierce,
I was
a
going to
little
say, I have
faster.
a perfect question to go along with knots at the moment.
All right.
Do you see a higher strike rate when using a loop knot to the eye versus basically tying straight to the eye?
Yes and no. Yes and no. So with the loop knot, if I'm using just the hook with no weight, I'm just doing a standard uni knot. I'm not doing the loop knot just because there's a little more flexibility. So when that fish does turn, then there's a chance that the hook will turn as well, and then it comes out. So I like that hook to be nice and ready, set. So when he turns, the hook turns with the line. So if you have just a loop knot in there, when he turns, the line could turn, the hook could turn, the hook will fall out. But where I do use the loop knot is with a little tiny bit of weight. This is just a 16th ounce, lead weight or bullet egg weight. Thank you. But where I used to struggle hardcore is the single loop. So I don't know if you can see this in here. I've actually got 2 loops in this, which when I was talking with Rick Murphy when we were filming the Sportsman's episode about shallow water grouper, I talked about this as that was the most frustrating thing is, the loop knot's really the only successful knot you could tie with adding the weight into it, but it would break so fast. Those groupers shoot out of those rocks and those ledges so quick that it'll just have a little bit of tension and then snap.
Yeah, what happens is where that loop connection is, it gives about a quarter of an inch to a half an inch for it to gain inertia. And what that does, when it snaps tight, it has a tendency to break. Right there. That's the weakest point in the knot. Yep. And it looks like you've eliminated that weak point by doubling the line up there.
Hey, Billy, there's a set of snips up there, and can you throw those over here?
Well, you should probably walk them over here. Yeah, you don't
I
want
got
to
no problem tossing them.
Maybe not. Where'd they go? Let me see.
Yep, here they are.
There they are.
Are you going to tie one
yeah,
right here?
Let's tie one real quick. Bree, you want to do a zoom in? I'll do the best I can to... It definitely takes a lot of practice. All right. So we're going to start fresh here. And this is 50-pound fluoro, by the way. Mm-hmm. So I'll inshore 50-pound. If the grouper bites insane and lines breaking left and right, or if I'm fishing ledges in particular, then I'm going to go up to 65. But
if there's a way when you go to tie this, if you could scoot and have that black background of the couch behind you versus the camo shirt, it's a little tough to see.
Okay. Did you hear that, Barry? Yeah. That's a different loop knot.
Yeah.
All right, so you're just gonna make
Pull it down. Yep, right there.
an overhand loop just like that. All right. All right. Now you're gonna slide the egg weight on your lens just like that, and you're gonna put the line through the eye. But then you're going to take your line and you're going to bring it back through the egg weight Make sure you give yourself plenty of slack here. So all I did was just give myself a little bit more slack. So this is what we're at right now. So I went through the egg weight, through the hook, back up through the egg weight, and now I'm gonna go one time through the circle, but then I'm gonna go back down through the egg weight, and at the same time through the eye. This Band-Aid's kind of making it a little more difficult here. And then one more time up through the egg weight. Like that. And then give yourself a little bit of slack there, and then you're gonna finalize it just like you would a normal loop knot. You're gonna go in there twice. Didn't give myself a lot of slack.
Miss Vicky wants classes on this when she gets back in town.
Deal. I just want Miss Vicky to come back to town.
Maybe we can make a separate YouTube video on this specific knot.
Let me take this Band-Aid off.
What is on your finger?
It's a
It's
Band-Aid.
a Band-Aid.
I
Okay.
cut myself on a piece of glass digging earlier.
I'm looking. I was curious. I'm looking through the camera. I'm like, what is this?
So then you're just gonna pull that lead. And you're gonna tighten it up. So just like that. Guys, I know that was probably kind of a pain in the butt to see here, but if you all want to come in here, I'll be glad to show you it. Rick was like just floored. He said that he actually came up, what took me probably 3 months to try to figure that out. It took him about 20 minutes and he came up with a different type of knot. I don't know a whole lot of names on knots, but this one has been bulletproof. It locks in. And like I said, it's double the strength on the loop.
Right.
So.
And the reason for that small weight, it doesn't restrict the movement of the pinfish when you're using bait. But what it does is it drops it in the strike zone a lot better because there's drag on that line. When you're throwing a pinfish down and you're trying to get it down into the cracks 7, 8, 9, 10 feet below, it's going to take a while to get down there. And what that does is it drops it down there faster, but it doesn't restrict the movement of the pinfish.
Yeah.
It's almost like freeline. It's almost exactly like a freeline pinfish, but it has just enough weight to drop it in the strike zone faster.
Yeah, I mean the most aggressive, grouper are very territorial. Mm-hmm. So they're not feeding necessarily because they're hungry. They're feeding because they're the baddest fish there.
Right.
So if you can get something to forcefully go as fast as it can down to those rocks or that ledge, that grouper is going to protect its home.
Right.
So anything you can do to get it to go down there faster and make it look natural is better off.
So Mr. Chuck Black wanted to know, when fishing for grouper out here and using a rig similar to that, what would you prefer to use? Is it going to be a live bait or a cut bait for our grouper here?
With this exact rig, definitely live. If you're using cut bait, I always freeline mine. I don't play in a deep enough water where you have to use just your standard knocker rig. But there's a time of the year, it's usually late fall going into like December, I'd say, where it seems like cut mullet overpowers everything else.
Right. Cut ladyfish works pretty darn good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, guys, if you have any other questions, go ahead and comment. Billy's monitoring them over there.
There's a couple.
You got a couple questions?
Yeah.
All right, let's knock them out real quick.
Darren wants to know, with that setup that you're using, is that a 5/0 offset circle, and also is that a 16th or an 1/8 ounce lead weight that you're using with that?
And I do apologize. I should have said that earlier. So this exact hook is a 7/0 circle hook. It's made by Mustad. And then the weight is this is a, what do you think? 16?
Looks like it looks like an 1/8 ounce.
think it's
Yeah, that's an 1/8 ounce egg sinker. You can use different weights, 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce, all the way up to about a 1/2 ounce would be that rig right there. But depending on how deep you're fishing, like I said, if you're fishing in less than 5 feet of water, I wouldn't use a weight at all.
Yeah.
5 to 10, I'd either use that 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce. 10 to 15, I'd go up to close to a half ounce.
So, yeah, and it really depends on currents too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had days out there in shallow water where that current's absolutely ripping, and a free line fish is just not going to do it.
Right.
So
yeah, it stays on the surface, and you don't want them on the surface. You want them to get as close to the rocks as you can, because they're going to be hiding right up on the ledge, right up on the edge of those rocks.
Billy, what else you got?
I got one more here for you from Adam Inlow. What month do you consider the height of the shallow water grouper season?
October.
October.
Yes, by far October is the best
coming
month.
quick.
Yeah. This September is going to be tough.
It's pretty hot out there.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's going to be tough. I've actually called all my clients. I told them if they, want to go ahead and go, I'm going to work my butt off no matter what. But I encouraged them to try to book towards the October into November months. The last few years, it seems like right when December hit, it just kind of dropped out.
Yeah.
That's when we started switching to cut mullet. The fish got a lot more lazy or comfortable.
Right.
But they're seeing a lot of, we have a lot of guides that are out there fishing for.
Oh, yeah. It seems to be everybody's out there fishing for them now, so.
Yeah. All right, well, let's hit a commercial break, guys. Those were some great questions. Again, if you ever need anything or have any questions or want to see the hook in person, just come down to the marina. No problem, show you all. So let's go ahead and go to a commercial. This is our friend Jay with Bahio. This is actually when we went fly fishing for grouper.
Fishing with Jay.
A grouper is equivalent to my wife. All right, stubborn.
Oh, what's a grouper? A grouper, they're not like necessarily the biggest fish, but they are meaner than piss.
Stubborn. They don't weigh a lot, and hopefully Brianna watches that part. So.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Fishing with Jay. So there's the fish that has trapped my imagination for a while. I'm completely obsessed with tough, big fish. Chased them all over the world. But there's one fish here, gagged grouper. I hear tales of just how gnarly they are. I've seen guys with spinning rods just get their butts kicked into their faces.
That's a big fish. Oh, right in ledge. There's nothing I can do on that. Holy, did you guys see that?
I can't find any information on a fly about.
Dude, that's Moby Dick.
Wrecked him in the reef.
This zone out here, never seen anything like it. It's gigantic.
Holy smokes, there's a lot of water out here. The main thing is it's just a huge open water. Not used to fishing something so nondescript. It's just massive flats.
We have cracks that go down the aquifer all throughout these flats. It's spring fed. When it gets cold, those grouper move into the shallow water for these cracks and these ledges. The goal is to get them to come up out of those cracks.
This sounds like a game I really want to play. Gary's a world-class guide for the gag grouper, and we think we got some ideas on how to catch them with a fly.
Really?
Yeah. Shared the same thing to Mr.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. This is the Nature Coast Financial Advisors Tackle Table Talk. If you all want to check out the rest of that episode, which I highly encourage you,
It's worth doing.
go to the Bahio YouTube channel and just look for the Fishing with Jay episodes. That was a really fun experience with him.
Fishing with Jay.
Man and myth. But guys, tonight we have my personal favorite soft plastic bait for grouper. We've got the designer, the owner, the laborer, the janitor, the everything behind
the package.
these awesome plastics. And he's also announcing a brand new bait for the first time right here, right?
Yep.
Sweet. All right, perfect. So I held up a little bit high, so I wasn't sure if I was supposed to or not.
You're good.
So this is Justin Maddox, owner of Maddox Tackle. Justin, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate it.
Come on board.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me.
So we met Justin at the Tampa Bay Outfitter store in Tampa. Awesome location. The dogs are having fun over there. Sorry about that. Awesome location. They've got everything that you possibly can ever dream of, need, want, everything right there. And that's actually where we found these baits. We were walking by and I turned around and said, what the heck are those? And, after getting into the conversation with the kind gentleman behind the desk right here, found out that he was the developer of them. So Justin, tell us a little bit how the company started, what made you want to do this, and kind of where the product is now, and what you all specifically use them for, primarily in the Tampa Bay area.
So it started back in 2020. Kind of everybody was bored during that time. Everybody had COVID. Nobody wanted to go outside, so we were all inside. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and people were pouring baits, and I started wanting to get into it. I do a lot of bass fishing. I do a lot of saltwater fishing, and I started making them for myself. And people on Facebook, I started posting pictures, and people started wanting them, and all my friends wanted some. So I kind of didn't want to just have what everybody else had. I want to do a bigger bait. I like stuff that matches up real well with the jig head, and that's what I kind of fell into. My friends catch a lot bigger fish than I do, as always. So
It happens.
Yeah.
they wanted bigger baits, so I said, let's do some bigger baits first. So that's where it is now. And I eventually want to get to my fish size, or smaller fish, so we catch a lot, or inshore. But right now it's air towards grouper, big snook, big tarpon. Some people up in I'd say lower Jacksonville. Can't remember if that's Sanibel. I think they do a lot of big redfish up there.
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine. But that area, they do a lot of big redfish with their schools of them. And we have a lot of people that fish primarily in our area at night, and they need a bigger profile because not always a smaller profile works.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, like we're talking about, aggressive grouper. They are protecting their territory. So for them, to see something like this swim by, I would eat this. I know Billy would eat this one. I'm definitely eating this one. I'm going to try my best on this, but the biggest, baddest grouper out there is going to take on this challenge. And what I really like about you and your the company in general is that you listen to the fishermen, right?
Yes.
So we were talking about different colors. You came out with this bad boy. This is the perfect mixture of all the colors. I mean, this thing right here, I'm so excited to start using these. You got the white bottom, but then you got that beautiful dark color. This resembles a greenback.
Greenback, baby ladyfish.
Mullet.
I think at that point it'd be a houndfish.
Yeah, if we do a blueback, or dark blueback, we could do a houndfish.
And this is your new product, right?
Yes, so that's my 9-inch bait.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, everybody wanted the 5, and then everybody wanted to go bigger because they need a bigger profile at night.
Yep.
Because it's really a shadow at that point, but color does matter to an extent, in my opinion. But at night, they just really need that profile, especially in our area. We fish a lot at nighttime rather than the daytime. We're pretty pressured there in Tampa Bay.
Absolutely.
Makes sense, yeah.
So, the number one thing that I noticed, so this, Justin, was actually the very first setup that you gave me last year. And, I mean, I've went through, some packages, and mainly because they got broke off or hooked up on rocks, but this was one that was on my personal rod that I like to throw off the back of the boat. It has that pink color, resembles that sun glow like we were talking about earlier, but these things hold up. They're not like the other baits. These things hold up. They're tough, they're rugged. The hooks are designed perfect. The shape of the head is flawless. Even the eyes hold up. Have you ever, Billy, seen a lead jig head that the eyes are still on it after a year?
No, not at all. Not after a day of fishing, let alone a year.
I mean, you can see the grouper bites right in it too. So, it's really impressive what you've done. But working in bait and tackle and sales, you know exactly what we want.
Yeah.
So, and you developed it. So kudos to you. So how many colors total do you have at the moment?
At the moment, it's currently 6. So there's I'm going to name them by what they really are. It's a pearl, there's a pink, a chartreuse, greenback, a mullet, and a black and purple.
I like that purple.
Yeah, this one's sweet too.
So that's
I
our
like
top seller in Tampa Bay. Reason being, it's a nighttime color. They need the silhouette.
Makes sense.
It's actually vice versa over here. I feel like I was looking downstairs earlier. Your black and purple's not the best seller here. It's the chartreuse.
Yeah.
And up there, it's backwards.
I can tell you this is going to be the top
Yes.
seller. This is it right here. But our water, like Mario was saying earlier, it's just 99% of the time the water's clean where we're fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, this thing right here, I'm not joking, you guys. Very excited. So we've got some B-roll footage here of the baits in action. Let's check that out real quick. See what we're working. Oh, all right, we're gonna keep going. Justin, are you from Tampa?
Yes.
Originally?
Yep.
So you're
born and raised.
Local, born and raised. So I take my statement back. What I like the most about you and your company is that you're local.
Yeah.
You know, and that falls into my second favorite thing is that you listen to the fishermen because you are local, you know what we want, you know what we need. Billy, you got any,
Nothing at the moment.
I can tell you this, when before came across these, I was big into throwing plugs with all the treble hooks.
We did a lot of that.
Awesome, great reactions, but the number one thing that annoyed me the most was the grass.
A lot of that.
Yep, so it got to the point where they weren't effective with so much grass. But now you're going down to one hook and the much better swimming action, a lot longer of a life, and a lot more affordable too. You lose one of those X-Wraps,
$15 to $25
on sale. On sale. So, but these things are so effective because you can work them a little bit slower, let them bounce off the bottom, let them bounce off the rocks.
Gives you a lot more opportunity versus a plug, where the plug only action is in one direction.
Yeah, a lot safer too.
Yeah.
A lot safer.
Especially with the way I set a hook.
Yeah, especially the way that Billy sets a hook. All right, we got it. Greg said we all hear that beer crack under the table, Billy.
I tried to hide it, but he got me.
So tonight we're actually giving away a whole set of these products. Justin brought a whole big, a whole
shipping
big
container.
Yeah. So we're going to be giving away a big set of these, including these. Now, are these on shelves yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Still working on some of the stuff with it. Actually, it's really just getting more colors and most of the sizes out that I have.
Gotcha.
It's very similar to
It is something
that
that we fish in Tampa Bay a lot, and then I know you guys could cut mullet on there. And you're saying, I was watching you guys with the loop knot rig with the almost a knocker rig, but it's with the loop knot. It's kind of the same thing, but without having to deal with the tying it in.
Yeah, no, I love that, especially for sheepshead. I really like that.
Yeah.
Now, are they going to come in a smaller hook size?
There will be that's going to be the circle hook size for more of your grouper, so it's legal. You're legal, and then I will have a small J hook for your sheep's head and some of your snapper species that people like to do in Tampa and here around Ozello,
Gotcha.
Coast.
Somebody asked, what's the best way to tie one of these on? We were talking about this earlier. Loop knot?
Yeah, I prefer a loop knot. It really depends on what your pound test leader is. Our guys that are throwing we throw a lot of 100-pound, 125-pound for our tarpon, just because we're fishing in the bridges and they do rub on the bridges. We need a little bit extra leeway.
That makes sense.
We throw pretty much a 3-turn uni knot, and then on I'd say 80-pound and under, we're throwing a loop knot.
Okay. So Bree, if we can get a zoom in on here, let's do a standard loop knot. That is the only way I tie mine, is the loop knot. Now, I don't do the double loop on these because there's always restraint on it.
Yeah, because you're always keeping a top line.
Exactly. It's always taut, so that line's always against the eye. So what I do is just a single loop knot. Mine are real simple. Let's do it right across your shoulder here. Right there, Bree? No? Oh, by his shoulder, sorry. All right, how about right here? All right, there we go. All right, so again, you just do the overhand knot, away from the beer mug, right there. All right, so just a simple overhand knot. You can see the loop right here by my middle finger, and then you're just gonna take that lead, you're gonna slide it through once, slide it through again, and then you wanna make sure and get a good cinch on this and never use your teeth.
Yeah, there's pliers above that.
You use your lead to measure the distance of your loop, and then you use the line side to cinch that thing down. So this is going to give this bait a lot more play, a lot more. The other thing I like about this is if you get hung up on the rocks, it's easier to get it off. You give it a little bit of shake and wiggle.
Yep, it'll eventually give it. Well, most of the time it'll eventually give off.
Yeah. So, well, awesome. Justin, thank you so much, man. Brian, were we able to get some of that B-roll going? Oh, sorry. All right, so so we're not going to be able to get to that, but we'll post it on our YouTube channel after this to show you guys how it works in live action. Yes. But Justin, besides that, you know, what would you say you went out on the airboat with Billy today, right? Have you ever been out on the waterways here?
I've fished Chaz and Bayport a lot, but I've never been on like the airboat side, going up that close. So not up this far.
Gotcha.
I've rode outside I call it outer coastal, but bay kind of thing, but out to Chris River and back to Bayport when I had to break in a lower unit. I mean, not a lower unit, but a motor. Besides that, I've never fished up this far. What was
the one thing that really stuck out to you about our area or the airboat tour in general?
Nobody out here.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it.
Agreed, man. Well, awesome. Dude, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being you. Thank you for developing this awesome product.
Damn, nice to meet you.
Check them out. We have them for sale here at the store. As soon as these bad boys are packaged. Are they packaged yet on these?
That's what's holding us up. Is it's hard to find packaging for a bait that size.
Gotcha.
And I don't like creasing the tails. That's a big thing. I like if you're paying what you're paying for lures now.
Yeah.
You kind of want them to be as best as you can. That's something I'm big on. I hate having a creased tail on a lure when it comes out of the package.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to see these in a Ziploc with a sticker.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, as soon as these things get packaged, I'm really looking forward to getting these 9 inches in. But for now, we do have these. They've been very successful. All of our guides have switched to them here recently, and you know, they can't stop raving about them. So, and we're going to be giving away a whole bunch of these things at the end of the show. And I think tonight's trivia question, let's see, in what year did Justin develop these baits? What year did he start this? What year did he start making them? He talked about it earlier. First 6 people that answers correctly gets added to the Reel of Fortune. And when we come back, we're going to be picking a name. Commercial break starting now.
Summer is hot, but the deals are hotter during the Make This the Summer sales event at Phillips Ocala, located on South 441. Take advantage of 2.9% interest for 36 months on the new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. Or drive away in a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $439 a month. To get the best deals, visit us at Phillips Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Ocala or shop online 24/7 at phillipscjdr.com today.
No.
Billy, what was some of those questions, or are they just mainly comments?
Mainly comments on that one.
Okay. So 1906 was not the correct answer. All right, so before we go over to the Reel of Fortune, I stopped by our friend Brian's shop today at Extreme Decalz and went and hung out with him and Larry, brought Edith over there, our new Great Dane puppy, and I got a sneak peek of the new Reel of Fortune.
Ooh. The new Reel of
Billy
Fortune?
Mario, it is insane.
I didn't even know this was something in the makings.
Oh yeah, it's over the top, insane. Those guys are absolutely incredible. They have boats that are completely lined up in that big grass backyard.
For getting hydro deck
done, yeah. I mean, they've gotten real popular with that. The designs and everything that they do. They finished that Cadillac with that crazy awesome wrap on it.
They got it done?
I can't believe some of the stuff that they do.
That's awesome.
They do it and they get it done.
That was a wild wrap they had going with that.
Yeah.
That caddy.
Oh yeah, that was
cool.
So all right, so I think we're ready to go over the Reel of Fortune. Billy, if you want to bring Justin over there, let him spin that bad boy, the Hydra deck at Extreme Decalz, Reel of Fortune. Oop. Aubrey, you walked right into that one. So, Billy, explain to Justin how this works.
All right, so what we have here, obviously you see our 6 different species of critters here. Have the same matching 6 here. These are all of our correct answers. We have quite a few different names on here. Well, 6 of them to be exact.
The answer was 2020, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Thought you were telling him to say it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he knows. So what we're going to do here is going to grab one of these pins and give it a heck of a, less wobbly of a spin than that. And we'll see what it lands on and who's going to win some Maddox tonight. Go on, Snook.
Shrimp.
I like the pompano.
Pompano?
It's totally out of my league.
Hey, grouper. How about that?
Chris Dunning.
Chris Dunning, congratulations.
Got yourself a nice setup of Mad Ox baits coming to you. Well, you're coming to us.
I was gonna say, if probably the next time I'll see Chris is at the Florida Redfish Series. So
At the championship there?
yeah, so Chris, if anything, I'll bring them up there. But if you're in the area, then obviously stop by and come grab them.
You can knock some redfish out with them if you need to on the flat.
Yeah, there we go.
Like, legit. knock
Use
them
those
out.
3-ounce ones.
Yeah.
All right, Billy, why don't you send it off,
Thank
man?
you all very much for tuning in with us this evening. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, from Phillips Auto Group to Ayinde Matthews with State Farm to the
Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Abyss Batteries,
Hydro Deck,
Bahio,
Extreme Decalz, all the above. You
everybody.
guys kill it for us, and we appreciate it. Keep us rolling.
Brianna Aubrey absolutely
Aubrey.
killing it in that back room there.
Tuned in for us.
Dude, they're awesome.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Thank y'all. We
got one more Tuesday before break, right?
I think so.
So we'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey, we'll see if they can. Oh God, I can't run out of that one. Oh God, it's following me.